Hello everyone. Today we'll talk about scary stories. So let me set up everything here and we can start. I will tell some of my stories and let people as well tell their stories. Okay. I guess you see me now. I will be also inviting people to tell their scary stories. Welcome the last one. Today it will be a scary stream. I mean, despite I don't like the, how to say, don't like horror movies that much. Do you like horror movies? We had no more earthquake after the last one a few hours ago. Yeah, if we are alive, that means everything is okay. Okay, the volume is perfect, everything is okay. I am here with my clothes because I am ready to leave anytime. Let me inform. Hello everyone. Live. Informing the moderator that I am live. Hello Jerry. Nice to see you. So as you see, as my wife said, I mean, I didn't care about that much. I would, for example, turn on the heating of the apartment, but my wife, she said, don't turn on the heating of the apartment because you will not, you will not be ready for that. Hello, Natasha. Yeah, we can't sleep. I mean, now we decided like to split the night with my wife. I will stay awake as long as possible, and then I will wake up my wife and go to sleep. That is the best thing to do. My wife didn't let me to turn on the heating, so she said, I mean, don't turn it on, so it's a little bit cold. That's why I'm staying with my clothes, and I even put the blanket here because I mean it's a little bit cold and the heating is off. Even my legs are a little bit cold. So around southern time, me and my cousin Lucas, we were playing around outside, and my trampoline and me and Lucas, we just got bored and playing inside the house and around the house. So okay, so today I'm so sorry, I can't describe how I feel for you. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Hello, George. Hello, everyone. So I will start by my crazy stories, or I will not share anything today from my screen and everything. Yeah, we went to the woods and we went probably a mile in, or we were going straight and we went left and a couple steps I had some people talking, and then we wait for something else to happen, and I thought I saw an old man from 30-50 yards. Okay, everybody is reading that, so I mean, I won't read all the story. It will be I prefer to start telling my stories now, and then I will invite people to Skype conference, and you will tell your stories. So that will be cool. I mean, I'm sure all of you had like some scary stories in your lives. So hello Lisa, hello Alison, hello everyone. Today it's a scary stream with scary stories in the dark night. Yeah, I don't know. For me personally, I don't like horror movies. Do you like horror movies? I mean, I can like, for example, thriller movies, like thriller, I think it's called thriller movies, when there is like something like strange happening, something like this. I mean, that let you think, etc. Those thriller movies, I like them. But the horror movie, I mean, when like they show people are afraid of everything, I mean, after the horror movie, I feel, I mean, I feel also that afraid, and I feel that someone will, I mean, appear suddenly or something. So I think the horror movie can little bit ruin our mental health. That's why I don't watch them. But I watch a lot of like movies like detectives and like even criminal movies, and but a lot of, I mean, different kind of, I don't know, horrible thing happened in the world or with people themselves. I mean, not where they show that people are figured out and are I mean screaming or something like that. So I mean, let me remember some scary stories, because I just have had this idea in my mind. By the way, like, I mean, the yesterday stream, I had to delete it because YouTube told me about claims of copyright of those cartoons. And I'm like, how, like, cartoons of 1926 or 1960s can be copyrighted? I mean, it's scary. I mean, I also I was afraid that they will. I mean, it was still like processing, checking, or something like that, the stream, and I thought, I mean, to avoid any trouble, since they claimed that it's those are copyrighted cartoons, like that was created, I don't know when, like, and they are copyrighted. So I was scary about any strike of the YouTube channel, and I just decided to delete the stream, and that's it. I mean, it's better. I even looked for an option how to make stream not recorded in case I will show some videos or something like that. Anyway, so the scary stories. One of the scary story I remember when I was in Algeria. How did one last, like, no, it's 45 seconds. It's the previous time. This one, earthquake, last only 15 seconds or 10 seconds, something like that. It was like very quick and very light. But we was afraid, and we freak out because we already had like the idea about, I mean, how things are going on. So let me here like some settings in the stream. I can't find them anyway. So once in Algeria, I was going to a friend, and that friend was living in the border of the town. And I remember I was like walking, and I didn't even like think about anything of that, that I will be in danger or something like that. So I walked like in the border. From one side there were buildings, from the other side it was like wood, like I don't know, little trees and some, I don't know, field. And suddenly I heard dogs. So suddenly I heard dogs, and those dogs start barking, and they ran to my direction. And I saw them how angry they were. Those two dogs, two or three, I don't remember. Like a lot of dogs, and they were like running right to me. And I see them. I saw them. I was like running like crazy, and I thought they will, I mean, catch me. It was like the first time that I was like attacked, you can say, by dogs. They were like very close to me. They appear from, I don't know, from nowhere, a lot of them. And I ran to the direction of the city, and I found there a mosque. So because it's Algeria, it's an Islamic country, so I found there a mosque, and they were praying people there, and just entered the mosque. I mean, like I don't know, without usually like in the mosque you have to remove your people have to remove their shoes and everything, and I didn't remove any shoes, and I just entered the mosque like crazy. That was like one of the crazy stories, scary stories, I mean. And from that time I am afraid of dogs. And recently, for example, I had a video where I showed where I went here to closer to mountains, and I saw the dogs. So and they were looking at me. I was so afraid of them. I mean, from that time, I mean, I am very afraid of dogs. Uh, in Algeria, what happened again? What happened like crazy or scary? For example, maybe it's not that scary, but also like a bad experience. So I went with my friend to a stadium. They were playing football, soccer, and people there were like, it was like the first time in the stadium, and people were shouting, spilling, spilling, I think, at the players, telling them bad words, etc., and throwing things on them. And I was like, I mean, in shock. I mean, it was kind of a little bit scary, and that's, I mean, that those people will, I mean, start fighting or something like that. And I had to spend all those 2 hours in the stadium, like crazy people, like watching. I mean, it was like, I mean, scary thing to see like people going crazy with watching the football, the soccer, and doing crazy things. That was a little bit scary. What else? Like not about me, but about my relative, like my grandfather. Yes. So he was living the in the village, like very far from the city, and he had like a big land there, and he was going like by the, how to call it, like I need the translator. Uh, the thing that you use with the horse, that is used with the horse. I even in Russian, I don't know how to call it. Not коляска, no. Carriage, maybe. I don't know, carriage. yeah. So usually people who live in villages and they have carriage. Mm, so they use or saddle. I don't know. They use the horse and they go to their yeah, to their land, to care about the land and everything. So they he he went also to in that carriage or saddle or a cart or I don't know how to call it, and he was sitting, and suddenly someone, and it was like the early morning. You always like say that story, and suddenly he felt that someone is sitting next to him. I don't know what that was. Uh, I don't know why he felt that, but suddenly he felt someone sitting like next to him and like start talking to him. I mean, like someone from nowhere. I mean, I guess he said a woman or something like that. So he was going in the early like morning, and this person just appeared next to him and start talking with him, and he was like so afraid, and he kind of I don't know if those are really such creators exist, or like I don't know, some ghosts, or I don't know, because I mean maybe people usually they believe in ghosts. They say that they exist, and they I mean sometimes they see them, they see weird things. Anyway, he said like it's I felt that someone is next to me talking to me, and he kind of was already like aware about, they like say it's better to not talk to them like to ghosts, or I don't know. So anyway, I mean, or this is in the mind happening, I don't know. So uh, he said that this person started to talk to him, and they kept he kept going further and further and further. When he get to his land almost, this person disappeared, just disappeared from that saddle or carriage. So that was also a scary story I remember. uh, what else? I need to think more. Okay. um, ah Once in yeah, they like those school exits, or I don't know. I mean, people have different stories with them. Uh, yeah. So about Algeria as well. Maybe there is, I don't know, a funny, not crazy story. I don't know, funny story. I just remember. I mean, we we had like I was like maybe 19 or 17 years old as I was using the bus. This is more scary at the same time, funny at the same time. I don't know. So, mm, so we had like we had a guy in buses. Usually, like to how to say, to like guys, and he he wanted so hard to be friend with me, and or to I don't know what he wanted. Maybe you can guess. And he, he was telling me to go with him, and he was for me like he wasn't that scary, but he was so insisting to be his friend or to go with him or something. But I felt that he wanted something else, and I just I don't know, just told him to leave me alone. I mean, but that was a little bit scary because he was like he didn't seems like stronger than me, but he can, I mean, like be dangerous for me. But he was like older than me. I wasn't that scared about him, but since he was older anyway, I felt some from danger from his side. So that's also happened in Algeria. Hmm. What else? Oh, there's another one also. Like once I fought with my father, and I just left the house. I also like was young, like 18 years old or something like that. And I just left the house. And because I never had like good relations with my father. I just left the house, and I just start walking in the city, and then I took a bus, and I went to another city like with almost no money. And I just was walking. I was also very upset with my father, and just was walking in the other city, like about 100 kilometers from our main city where we lived. And when I get there, I mean, I didn't have any money. Like, I mean, like I couldn't even come back. They even like start calling the police to try to find me, because in that time we didn't have like any phones, any mobile, anything. I mean, so I just left and start working in unknown city, in another one, without, I mean, any money, without knowing anyone there. And then I start working without a phone, without nothing, just like, I mean, just left, just get very upset with my father, like the last money I gave to the bus. So I just walked there, and then I met one guy, and we talked a little bit, and he said that I have a store. I'm working in the store. Yeah. So I entered his store, and then he said like I told him my situation, that I don't have any place to live in. I don't have any money to use. And he said, if you want, I can wait for me when I close the store. I have a place here where you can sleep. So he I was even like, how to say, surprised, because he trusted me, and he left the store like full of products, etc. And he left it with me, and he said like, sleep in the store, like in a place. And he just left. Of course, maybe he closed the store. Maybe that's why he wasn't that afraid. But still, I mean, I could, I mean, I don't know, like use something or something. I mean, I don't know. He just trusted me, and I spent all the night there. And then in the next day, he even like gave me money, like the guy I didn't know, that I just met for the first time. And I came back to the city where my father lived, and where my family were living. And then there, when I get home, like before getting home, I even like because the city was little, and we knew all people. They knew each other. And the taxi guy, he said that your father is looking for you, and he said to the police and about that, etc. uh, that's it. I mean, about Algeria, about stories in Algeria. Then when I went to Russia, and once when I was dating my wife, like Sasha, before getting married to her, we went to the dacha. Dacha, it's a house. Like all Russians, they have dacha. It's a house outside the city, and we were like spending time there. And we went to that dacha, and they didn't have any light there. I mean, in the I guess we told that story before in the stream. They didn't have any light, and we went to that place, and we heard like drunk guys shouting, screaming, like very close to us. And we just hide it. Because usually to open the door, we had like to use the light of the phone. to open the door, and we just put the light on. We turned the light off and start being very quiet. We were very afraid that those guys will, I mean, somehow attack us, like a big group of drunk guys shouting crazy things. And we just waited when they will all pass, and then we just, I mean, entered the house, and everything was okay. So hello everyone, welcome who is joining now and who joined. In this stream we can tell our scary stories, and in 1 hour, I mean, when the stream hit 1 hour, like after half hour almost, I will try to share the link earlier. I will share the link of the Skype, and you can join also and to tell your scary stories. My uncle kept a wooden puddle with nails in it and closet, and threatened to use if we my safe. I was terrified to ever go to his house. Yeah. Or you can write your little stories, I mean, in the chat, and people will read them. Maybe like we can also tell about what we learned about those stories. I don't know. That would scare me to death. Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people, like they were crazy. Anyway, so the other story, this one is like even the most scariest story maybe in my life. So when we lived, hello NG, nice to see you. So when we lived in Russia, we lived in an apartment in the first floor, and in the third floor we had like other people. They left their apartment to us, they left us the keys, and they said that you can use it. And I always like was working online, and for example today I had to wait for my wife and my kid to go to sleep, and I mean, it was always hard for me to find a quiet, I don't know, time to create videos or to do something online. So I always was preferring to go to the third floor because they left us that apartment for a few months. And I was always preferring to go there with my laptop and work from there with my phone, etc. So I don't know what exactly happened in that apartment, but in the first days it was like, how to say, it was kind of very old apartment with a lot of how to say, Soviet, for example, Soviet furniture, and with the floor that makes some noise when you walk on the floor, like from the floor is from the wood, and it make a noise like something like that when you walk, and it was so quiet there. And they had also a picture of a woman there, like their like relative. She died in that apartment, and I was like just trying. I was going there just to like to find space and to find time to. Yeah, it was creepy, yeah, very creepy apartment, and I was just taking that picture and put it down like this to not see it, because I felt that she was looking at me. And I was also closing the door of the room, like I was like afraid. And in the like I spent there about 1 month going there, and nothing happened. And after, like I start hearing some noises at night. So I was sleeping in the No, we are talking about scary stories. So even you can say your scary stories, any kind of scary stories you had in your life, or you can join later in the Skype where I will share the link, and we can hear that from you directly or see you. Uh, so I was sleeping in one room, always closing the door, and I was hearing some noises in the night. And I knew that the apartment is empty, and those noises was like crazy. I mean, so like somebody is walking, and I was like a little bit like scary, freak out, and um, and I just did my best to just sleep and to not think about that. But after that, like in the same apartment, I really don't know what the hell it was that. In the same apartment, I decided just to go there. I thought maybe I just have like I watched like some scary movies and or something, and I have like just I don't know, imagination or something. I didn't like I didn't think that something is weird going on there. And then in another day, I went there to sleep, and I was sleeping, like completely sleeping, and I waked up feeling that someone is touching my leg. And I was so scared, and I mean, I couldn't even like move. And I just felt that somebody touched my leg, and I like spent about I don't know an hour not like moving, not making any noise, and very scared. And after that, I just get to sleep, then uh, in the morning I went like left the apartment. So the same in the same apartment, crazy thing was happening. Like the first time I heard someone talking, second time someone touched my leg, and once also I heard like also I went. I mean, I don't know why I was keep going to that apartment. Why, I mean, a crazy thing happening to me there. So I went there, and I heard like someone telling me hello. I don't know. I don't know. That was also crazy story. I mean, I don't know, just imagination, or I don't know, ghosts. I don't know what was really that. And the third time when I decided to not come back at all to that apartment, was, I mean, I didn't like believe that much that something crazy is going on there. Coming back usually between 3 and 4. Yeah, that was the time, like 3 and 4. Yeah. So the last time when I just completely decided to not come back to that apartment at all, I waked up to see a little black cat on my hair, like shoulder or say плечо. So that was, I mean, crazy. I mean, little black cat looking at me, and it was like, I don't know, it was the scariest. Even when some shoulder, yeah. So even when someone, I felt that someone told me hello, or someone touched my leg, it wasn't that scary for some reason. But I was so scared about little mm, a little cat on my shoulder. I mean, it was like I know it was very close looking at me. I mean, and I felt it so realistic. Anyway, that's the other story. And from that day, I decided to not come back to that apartment. When I almost fell out of a roller when I was 8, was scary for me. Yeah. Whew. And after a while, they just rented that apartment. Or they sell it. They sell it to someone. And I thought, oh, poor people, they bought that apartment. Oh, crazy thing will happen with them there. It's crazy. I died during the surgery and fed myself floating above everyone and heard them talking about. Wow, it's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, when we hear such story, so we just, I mean, believe that such ghosts exist or something like the hidden power exists in this world. Uh, the other, okay, and today also I remember the story when all this started in 24 February 2022. So we were living like next to a military base in Rostov. It was like 10-minute walk from us, like the military base. And in that time, I mean, like we weren't sure that we will leave the country or something. We thought about it, and like we didn't expect that crazy thing to happen. And we start hearing right away, like from that day, like almost every day, especially, I mean, in the first day it was very scary for us. We start hearing airplanes, like we start hearing airplanes flying. We start, and the airplanes that were flying, the 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 sound that they make, like the sound of the missile, like like this. It's not like you hear the the airplane like directly, but you kind of feel that it's falling, like something like that. And we thought that those are like those could be missiles, because I mean we didn't expect we didn't know what to expect. We never lived in a place where there's a war starting or something like that, and we knew that like war started, and we were very close to Ukraine, like Rostov-on-Don. It was very close to Ukraine, and we were hearing the first month that sound, like about 2 months we were hearing that, because before like leaving 6 months we already wanted to leave Rostov-on-Don. You may see them that in my old videos, maybe I talked about that. That we wanted to leave Rostov-on-Don. We wanted to go to Moscow or something, because Rostov-on-Don, it's very close to Ukraine. By the way, Inside Russia is from there as well, and I am also from there. So we were hearing those sounds, and we were very afraid that like a bomb will fall on us. I mean, we didn't know what is war. We never experienced war, and that was very scary. Like for 2 months, hearing those sounds every single day. I mean, and then we start hearing ambulances, because like wooded, how to say, run in the injured, ah, wounded. So wounded soldiers they were taken by ambulance, and they were passing next to our house, and we were hearing them. And at the same time, and for some reason, those airplanes were start flying at 12 at night. I mean, in the midnight they start flying. I don't know why they wanted to make people scary. I know. We were always wondering why they are not flying during the day. Why they start flying at midnight, for example, 1 p.m., 2 p.m. We thought, why they are doing that? It was so scary for us, and we wanted to leave, but then we couldn't. I mean, we didn't want to leave our house, because our house was like full of everything we need. Like we invested a lot in our apartment, and it was very hard to leave it. But after that, like when this lasted a long time, and we decided to move to Moscow, And right in that time when we moved to Moscow after about 6 months, we like decided completely to move because for example, for me, I wasn't doing well in YouTube. I wasn't doing well in the web. I didn't have a lot of clients because of the war. I understand that foreigners will not come there because of the sanctions, etc. So we want to go to Moscow to live there and to work. And in our way to Moscow, we went to a town called Tula. And in that Tula, it was exactly the birthday of Baghdad. By the way, the birthday of Baghdad is 21st September. So in 21st September 2022, the mobilization announced that we were celebrating the birthday of Baghdad. So in a city called Tula. And when we heard about that, we decided to leave this Tula to go back to Rostov, and from Rostov to leave to this is like Tula, I found them there. I would say promoting Bitcoin. I found places where it's possible to accept Bitcoin in a place where they were selling water. This one, yeah, this one, Tula. So we went to this Tula, and there, like exactly in this town, we at night start watching celebrating the birthday of Baghdad, and heard about the mobilization. So that was announced. Of course, that was scary. So we decided if the mobilization started, so most likely, I mean, this war will not like stop for a long time, and I don't think that I will find I will find a work in Moscow and everything. And we decided just to go back to Rostov, and from Rostov to leave the country at all. That was like Tula. I just recorded it. It was like 4 months ago. I mean, it was like a cool little town with cool places, nice park, like completely like a lot of Soviet buildings. And we spent the night there, like about 2 nights we spent there before finding someone to take us to Georgia, and from Georgia to take us to, of course, in the border of Georgia it was also scary. Yeah, so for now I don't have any other scary stories. About the scary stories, about the earthquake that happened with us, and how it was scary for the first time. And now I am sharing the link. Anyone can join and tell his or her crazy stories, scary stories. It would be fun to hear from you. Otherwise, I'm sure that someone will join. Otherwise, I will try to remember some crazy stories. I mean, my life was full of crazy stories. In fact, I just don't remember all of them. Because, for example, when my father took me to Algeria back and left me And he promised me about a lot of things that in Algeria everything will be okay, and he gets married there. So he wasn't that good with me, and the life with him, it was like full of scary stories. Any kind of scary stories you have in your life, or you had in your life, I mean, or maybe crazy scary stories of your friends or relatives, or anything you think weird, maybe strange happened to you. So that's why, I mean, I am sharing the Skype link here so anyone can join. And you can tell us your scary story like right away in the stream. It would be cool. I mean, I want to have such tradition in my streams. Like when I have a topic to talk about, in the beginning I talk, no matter how long I talk, and then um, weird and strange. Yeah, weird and strange, scary. It doesn't matter. We can talk about anything. I mean, I wanted to have such tradition in my streams. In the beginning, I will talk, and then I will share the Skype link, and anyone can join. In this Skype link, you don't have to register or anything. You just use it with the browser. You don't have to turn on your camera. You just turn on your microphone, and you can talk. And people will hear you in the stream. Like it's a good thing, a good idea I have to be closer to the audience, and anyone can participate in my videos, in my streams. And that way, I mean, we can build this channel together. For me, for example, I don't like that much horror movies, but I just get this idea. I wanted to talk about something else in the stream, but because of the earthquake that happened today, I mean, I was so afraid today. I mean, the previous time when we had the earthquake, I didn't. You don't have to have Skype to jump. You just use the browser. Yeah, but it's okay. You can just write if you can't join. Oh, cool. Exploring. So just try to join. So guest user, you are there. Usually it's automatically people can join. Let me know in the stream, right, in case. Yeah. Oh, I see. Michael.
Hello.
Hello, Michael. There is a button here in the top of Skype, in the bottom, like Skype. You can turn on the microphone or
Oh,
the
okay.
camera if you
Can you hear
want.
me?
But you have to click on the microphone so I will hear you and people will hear you. Let me check the sound. Okay, the sound is.
Okay.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you. So I
You
didn't
hear
have.
me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I'm not on camera too, so that's
It's okay.
next time.
Yeah,
Next time. Well, thank you for having me on.
you're welcome.
And thanks to the mods for all being here and hopefully things work out and you can find the most stable place to live, whether it's Turkey, whether it's elsewhere, a place that's good for you and your family.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And
uh,
I wanted to share a scary story. I don't know if it's scary, it's more just so yeah, it's not ideal. So I'm happy to share that.
yeah, sure.
Okay. Um, so and just know that like I have it on TV, I have you on my computer, I have you muted on YouTube, but active on Skype. So it's a bit delayed. It's pretty funky how this works. So, yeah, I used to do ride share. I used to drive for Uber and Lyft, which actually was pretty fun. You get to meet strangers, you get to, and I'm very extroverted. Hey, I just hopped on Skype with a stranger. That doesn't scare me. So, I was doing Uber and Lyft, and I've picked up, thousands of people, have thousands of rides, and people, you may hear different drivers talk about, oh, this person did this person, they've like thrown up in my car, they caused trouble. Um, I picked up these two gentlemen, these two guys, um, one day during the daytime from an area that I tend not to like to pick people up from. It's not the best neighborhood, but I'll pick up anybody. That's part of my job. So I picked them up, and they look like two kind of kids who are up to no good. Um, they don't look like the best two people. And they get in the back of the car, and they start going through their backpack in the back seat. And one of them mentions gun. I'm like, oh, um, okay. And so I'm like, oh, guys, what do you have back there? They're like, a gun. I'm like, okay, but they were like, don't worry, it's not for you. So that was, of course, reassuring that the gun wasn't for me. And so from that point in time, I was just doing my best behavior, trying to relate to them best. I'm like, oh, who's it for? They're like, we have to go take care of some things. I'm like, that's good. They said they had to go get some bullets, but they used like a term for bullets. They used some kind of slang word, but they had to go get bullets. I'm like, okay, you go get those bullets. I'm talking to them, trying my best to relate to them, but the whole time my heart's pounding. I'm like, oh my God, these kids are goofballs. Hope they don't shoot me. Um, and then I see where I'm having to drop them off. It's this kind of like dead end street that I'm like, oh, that's not good. So I make sure that when I go down the street, I make a U-turn so I'm able to quickly get out. And then as they get out of the car, I get out of the car too. And I go in the trunk saying, I gotta go grab something. Just in case they try to shoot, I'm already running to the back of the truck or the car. And that was that. Nothing happened. They went about their business. They probably shot who they wanted to shoot. Um, but it was scary, and I gave them 1 star and told the app to please remove these people from this app because they should not be bringing bullets and or guns in the car and kind of showing guns in the car. That was scary to me.
Oh, oh, it's crazy. Oh, where do you live, by the way? The state,
I'm over in Seattle.
Seattle.
So over in Seattle, Washington. So if you see in the chat like Natasha, that's my wife. I'm exploring. This is exploring with the Zuinos. This is me. You've probably seen me here before or
Oh,
other chats. Um, so yes, we're over here in the rainy state, um, but it's nice. It's very pretty. It's pleasant, and we have pretty cool. I've picked up cool people. They've told me cool stories. They've give me candy, whatever they want to give me. They've been cool people to ride. But these two kids with a gun, that was a scary story for me. And I have a pretty tame, pretty timid life. I don't cause trouble, so that was definitely exciting.
yeah. So you have a YouTube channel, yes?
Yeah, yeah. It's in the chat, like exploring with the Zoinos. Um, my wife Natasha is from Russia. She
Oh,
is from Nizhny Novgorod.
cool.
So yeah, she's active in all the chats, whether if it's if it's Sergey, if it's Dima, if it's Ivan, the whole gang. So yeah,
Oh, yes.
oh God, that's a horrible banner. But yeah, we just here I'll say hi.
Yeah,
Hello.
she's telling that
Okay.
she's hearing you from the other room.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pop on camera and say hi. But yeah, there's our videos. It's hard to start a channel. I'm sure
Yeah,
you realized it as well. It's difficult to get viewers, to get subs. It's just
yes.
hard. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, I see. I mean, you just started maybe recently this channel, no? New one?
We started back like in
Oh,
April of 2020 when COVID started, and we were pumping out videos like it was like 6 a month. But
yeah.
we do have a lot of lives as well. We have a lot of live videos in there. Um, we kind of got inspired by others who do live videos, And
Yeah.
it's just fun. Although, I know like you and other YouTubers showing a part of the world that is so foreign to many, North Americans, many Europeans, and we're like, oh, here's Washington State. I hope people like it, when they see Washington State.
Yeah, I see you starting from 2013, no, the channel.
Oh, that's
Is
it,
the account
yeah,
created maybe?
the account created, yeah. And I don't know how it works with the algorithm if like you should restart and then do it from fresh, but once we got married, or sorry, once we were together, we were like, hey, let's just showcase the adventures or the things we do. So it was fun. It's
Yeah.
been fun.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So do you
Yep.
do streams sometimes in your channel?
Yeah, yeah, we do. We have not in a while, but we have our gimbal and we do streams. Typically, it's like, hey, we're going out, we're going to go to some bars, obviously very fascinating, but we'll go to bars or we'll live stream us walking different neighborhoods. I've live streamed from over in Nashville, Tennessee. Um, there there's always things to show. Like if I could, I would live stream my life 24/7. It would be like the film The Like Truman Show. Um, I have no shame. So just the live
I had
stream.
such idea before also.
It's hey, it's not a bad thing. It's just people get to know you every little thing. Of course, sometimes I feel like you have to kind of mask yourself. If you're always live, you have to make sure you don't, say an improper thing or, curse or just like look disgusted. So that's kind of one of the hard things. If you're always wanting to be live, you just have to kind of mask yourself. Um, and it's hard to have a downtime because even when we go live, we're like, okay, well, let's just point our camera away because we want to actually eat, and we don't want to show viewers us eating food and there's like pasta hanging down my mouth. And I'm always a mess. She's very neat and proper. I'm like, I have some pizza cheese here. Um, so
So
yeah.
what's the topic of your channel?
Uh, we wanted to kind of hop on the whole kind of like travel thing channel. But yeah, we just show the like Seattle area, like Portland, Oregon, the Pacific Northwest. We've built a van. So we've tried everything. So we built like a little tiny white van and we wanted to kind of do some traveling in it. But there's no main topic. It's just like, hey, we're up on adventures, and we do, find ourselves doing like we've gone to like Russian karaoke. We found the Russian ship. We've gone to a like Slavic grocery store. Um, we've gone to a concert for Armenia. Um, we try to like film different events we go to, and many just happen to be kind of that Slavic kind of like Russian Ukrainian background. Um, so we do get some viewers from that who, and we yeah. So yeah, that's our topic, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, because like I wanted these collaborations not only like related to the topic, but it's cool, of course, when new YouTubers join, and it's interesting to know about them. I mean, what they are doing, what they are
Yep.
not. Yeah, it's not scary, but maybe you have like scary stories not only in Seattle. Maybe you have a scary story in other countries to tell.
We well, what's funny is that I mean I've only gone to so I've been to two countries in my life, well, outside of the like U.S. I've not traveled, so I know often like Europeans travel. I went to the Bahamas as a child and kind of ruined my parents' vacation because I was that's actually a funny story. And then both me and my wife have gone to Canada, but for like a short period of time. But when I was a kid, we went to the Bahamas. They're a small island chain off the coast of Florida. And in school, I was 12 years old. We had just learned about gravity, or we're talking about gravity, and I was so stupid and silly. I was miserable every time at night because I felt at night, because Bahamas were an island, that we were going to get sucked off the face of the planet because gravity wasn't going to hold us down for some reason.
Oh.
Makes no sense. But like we were out on the beach, I'm like, I don't want to be here. I was mad, and they had no idea why I was mad. I just thought gravity, like these buildings weren't anchored in the ground. We were just going to get sucked off the face of the planet. Um, it makes no sense. It makes no
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, it's crazy. Once I remember we had in Russia we have like very cheap airplanes, like tickets usually, and they use very like old bad airplane. And I went there and I felt that my ears will like just I don't know explode. Like so much pressure was on them. I felt that I don't know something will happen crazy to me. I mean, so much
That's terrifying.
pressure was here. Like I mean, like something like that. and it was really crazy. I mean, it was also scary. I thought, I mean, I would just die.
I mean, I am very pressure sensitive, so whether we're going up like a mountain or like even if you're going up 1,500 feet, my ears pop. And on airplanes, as we land, my head has that same problem. It's like it's just pulsating. It's in pain. My head hurts. I look at everyone around me and they're just kind of laughing. They're sleeping, and I'm like this on the plane, like, oh my god, oh my god. I'm so nervous. I'm not a good flyer, but I've tried to get better with flying, but it's not the most ideal thing for me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you travel different countries, always like some scary things can happen to you.
Yeah, well, and it's kind of like it's weird, but that's kind of what I want to experience. Like, not a scary thing, but a kind of different and challenging scenario because I've only been to the Bahamas as a child and Canada. I mean, it's Canada. It's pretty much the like US in terms of similar culture, laws and people. So like I've always wanted to kind of find myself, in Turkey or in like Croatia or of course, even in Russia, just being like, okay, here's a culture shock. I can't read these signs. What do I do? Kind of that panic, but a good panic. I think that would actually be pretty exciting, which is weird to say. It's kind of weird to say.
Yeah. What do you think like the scariest thing that can happen when someone go to a new country?
I I don't want to believe all those Hollywood films that people could be taken
Mm,
and like sold into certain professions. I think one of the scariest things, I feel like this could happen over Mexico because they just have like no laws. I feel like if I've read that people get into taxis at airports or they go on tourist bus to certain like sites and they'll be stopped by the cartels. They could be
mm,
kidnapped. They'll have their um they'll have their car shot at, or they'll be kind of kidnapped, saying, "Hey, we're not going to take you to the resort if you do not give us, $50, $100."
mm,
That's scary to me, and I feel like that's a strong reality over in Mexico, because they just don't have their like government in check. It's very corrupt, and I would not want to be a reporter or a police officer in Mexico because they're at risk of kind of execution,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. I heard a lot of things about Mexico. I mean, it's maybe not that safe place to go there.
Yeah, it's I I mean, look, if people go there, even like even my like wife's sister, has gone there. My wife's brother's gone there. They go there, I still get nervous because they're, like, maybe these are a bit of an outlier story, but there are times when kind of the like cartels come up on their like jet skis and they're shooting at people, not citizens, but other cartels maybe infringing on their area. That's kind of scary. That's it's not good. So that would be that would truly be the scary thing that would happen.
Yeah, I mean, for example, also the thing that I always afraid of is being lost. I mean, being lost in a foreigner
Okay.
country, and especially if I don't know the language. I mean, I am so afraid that my internet will not work, and I will not be able to use the map. So that was
I,
also
I
like
I
a
mean, Google
phobia for me.
Translate is no, I get that. I would just be like, like Yano Gavaru Ruski. They would say, okay, you don't speak Russian, I think. So they would say that. But this Google Translate app is awesome. It is nice to be able to just like put it on and speak into it and have somebody else speak into it. But also you kind of lose that. Like it also is nice to learn from somebody. But you're right, being lost and being broke or like having lost a passport, lost your wallet. Um, I would just be like, I'm American. That could be good or bad. They could say, okay, we'll take his money more, or they won't mess with me. I don't know. I don't know what weight that holds anymore. By saying I'm American, it could be good or bad. I don't know.
Yeah. For example, I mean, it's good that I like I talk to you and I remember some stories, and you may like hear me talking, and you may also remember some like crazy story. I the last like the in Algeria, for example, it was very hard to get the passport, the international passport, and I get it. And I was working in the capital of Algeria, Algiers, and I was like preparing to go to Russia, like 12 years. I like wanted so hard to go to Russia and gather money and to do very hard for me. And I was working there, and I went to the bus, and my like from that time I was putting the jacket, and I put the wallet with my papers, with my passport, with my money, everything in the jacket. and it was like a big mistake because from that time I start putting always my wallet in my the pocket of my pants, not in the jacket.
Okay.
So I put it in the jacket, entered the bus. After like I don't know 5 minutes, I checked, I didn't find, and I was sure that I entered the bus with the wallet, and I was like crazy. I was like almost crying. I was like, I mean, like begging people, please
That's
give it to me.
scary.
I was going to everyone there sitting. I didn't care about that. I mean, it was like embarrassing, but I was going to everyone there and give it to me, give it to me. Nobody said that we don't see, we don't see, we didn't see, we didn't take. And then I went like to the other place and like I sit down destroyed, and I thought I will not like leave. After that, it would be hard for me to get the passport again and to gather the money, etc. And the guy just went to me and he said here is your wallet, and give me please like some money from it, because like he took it. And after like from being very sad and almost crying, I turned into a monster. I told him like go away, leave me alone. It's like I was very very mad at him because he made me like I don't know, very worried about that.
But you found it in the end. You
Yeah,
had
he,
it.
he, he gave it to me, and he told me
Okay.
I will here is it, but give me please like some money from it. And I
Mm.
told him go away. I mean like
It's
yeah.
that's a fear of mine, and yours is a much more important fear because you're trying to get somewhere.
Yeah.
That's a goal of yours. But every time we go out, if I have on a jacket, I'm checking this pocket here, that pocket here. Where's my wallet? And what I had to do, I don't have it here, but I put it one of the trackers in there because I did lose my wallet once, but luckily it was only under a table at a restaurant. But like it's so great to have that tracker because it can also reverse track your phone if you don't have it. One of these like tile trackers, and it's so beneficial because that scares me, knowing that there's my credit cards in there, my money in there, my ID. If I lose that, I don't have to like pay for new stuff and getting it already set. So if you don't have one, and I get that it costs money, but I think it's like 50 US dollars for these like tile trackers, and you can keep track of your wallet, so you'll ever have to feel that worry again. Because I get it, I've been there. It sucks. It's not fun at
Yeah,
all.
I mean, I never thought about it, about to get a tracker in your wallet. It's an awesome idea. I mean, it may help a lot of people. I mean, even if
It,
it's not stolen,
y-
maybe it could be just lost somewhere, and you will find it.
yeah,
It's great.
it's. I mean, I have one all my car keys, and I bought some for the dogs too, but they're like too big because the dogs are small. But like I get nervous. I want to track everything, but I know tracking things is not always ideal for everybody. But I'm like, hey, you know what? I I don't want to lose things. I'm actually looking for it here. Oh, here it is. Right here. Here's my wallet. Ooh, fancy. But it's this right. That's a credit card. It's this right here. This is it.
This is a tracker.
Yeah, and you can hit it, tap it, and it'll
Cool.
track your phone. It plays a cool little melody. But yeah, that's pretty thin. You can't even see my eyes right now. Ooh, so thin.
Yeah.
But if you don't have one, and it may be something, but I get there are other things that are probably more pressing on your side to get. That tracker is very beneficial.
Yeah. Sure. I
So
mean.
it's helpful. It's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. The
Yeah.
thing that we had, for example, the tracker for the kid. There are some uh, washes, so like wash, like with the smartwatch, smartwatch. So with the tracker, and he can take it with him and go anywhere. Like once we sent him with a group of like
Okay.
special like group that make take kids and like take them to places, and he also put it in his hand, and we were like not that aware about him.
Yeah, it's people do that for kids as well. They have like I don't know if that's what you're referencing here, but they have like children trackers. So
Yeah.
people who are going to pick up your kids from school, they get a tracker, so you can always track where your child's at. Um, I mean, like look, everything's tracked nowadays. Give it 20 years, they'll be one on my neck right here, uh, tracking me where I'm at. So trying to avoid that.
There's also like a funny story I would tell you about tracking also. Like when we went to Dubai, so my wife was very busy teaching. I was very busy with with all the things that we were doing and with YouTube, etc. And like the kid wanted always like to be busy with something, and he asked so hard to buy for him a phone. So I bought for him a phone, and I was going there to some work, and I created for him an account. Like in Google, there is a family account, and I create like the family account, and like I mentioned there that the kid only is 5 years old, etc. And then they kept calling me because they couldn't use YouTube. They could use only YouTube Kids. But like
Okay.
for some Russian cartoons and some, I don't know, cartoons he liked before, they couldn't find them in YouTube Kids. And to use YouTube, I just had like to restore everything, to remove all the data, and to forget about
Okay.
that Chiburashka.
Sorry. My-
No,
Sorry.
yes,
I know you. Sorry.
yesterday, yesterday I talked about Russian cartoons. Yeah, no. Show it to people. I mean, to let them
It's,
know who is Chuburashka, because I showed that Chuburashka yesterday in
we had
the.
watched a little piece of that yesterday. We were on our way out, but we watched a little clip of it. This is one with the I think she got this for like Sochi on the back. It says Russian
Yeah.
Olympic team. It's falling off. But yeah, this came out. So if you're wondering where this came from, my wife, her hand popped up and up popped Chubarashka. Sorry to cut off your story because
Yeah.
I do know
Yeah,
what
it's
it's like
okay.
when children have things blocked because of age restrictions. But yeah, it's Chubarashka.
Yeah.
Um, cute. This one's red. They had different colors for the Olympics, I believe. But yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Hi guys, Chubarashka's here. Hello. Um,
Cool.
so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. See, I can't escape the like influence. It's always around me.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, I just had to create for him another account, Google account, and that's it. I mean, because I couldn't like Google tell you like if you created like an account for the kid, so you can't. I mean, change the age, his age. You can't
okay,
go enter and change each age. It's like you're. It's not your kid or something. It's impossible to change his how his age could be changed, or I don't know. They said like it's impossible to change his age. The only way to do to because to watch YouTube, I think like from 13 years old they can watch YouTube or something like that. But when it was
okay.
like 5 years old, he couldn't just watch YouTube. Just download YouTube. He opened it and restricted, like he can't use it at all.
Oh, that's a big market for like children. Like so many of the top YouTubers are things that are geared toward children. There's actually a family called like Nastia's family. It's some kind I think it's a Russian family who moved to Florida. They do like toy reviews like this. And this is also my wife gave me this guy. Do you know who this is?
This guy is not Russian, also for sure.
No, this is E.T. E.T.
No, I don't
The
know. He looks like an alien.
Oh, yes, it's E.T. the extraterrestrial. Tasha, she's over there handing me things, like it's show and tell hour. But yeah, this is not Russian. We have a lot of versions of like
So
Chubarashka
so
and Gena.
so this one is scary. Is like with the topic.
No, it's not scary.
It's a little
This is
bit.
very well, it's an alien. This is very friendly. It's like I've never seen E.T. Came out in 81 or 82, I believe. I've never seen E.T. But
Maybe
E.T.'s friendly.
some little kids. Sometimes little kids they can be afraid of things you never expected they are
Oh,
afraid of.
I was scared. So, have you ever heard of Pee Wee Herman? I mean, it's a weird thing to hear.
No.
Pee Wee Herman. If you can look, he's and it was a character, and he was like kind of like real dorky. He was like, ha ha, hey guys, look at me. He was a real person, and my uncle, when I was younger, would chase me with a doll like this through the house, saying he's gonna get you, he's gonna get you. I'm a child, like he's messing with me. It's not nice. But like that scared me. Like this doll would scare the heck out of me, and it was a person. It wasn't like it had claws or teeth.
Yeah.
It's a dorky doll like this. So yeah, things like that scared me.
Yeah.
Have you ever been scared of a doll before?
No. Yeah, I
Okay.
just saw that the kids they can be afraid of things that are even like they can be afraid of a cat, of anything. I mean, that's
Yeah,
not that scary.
I guess as a yeah, I guess as a child you're like a magician runs wild, but like I don't mind the dark. Like I think spiders are cool. I don't like roaches those are scary. Cockroaches scare me. They crawl on the wall. Oh no, I
Mm,
can't do that.
I don't like them as well.
No, they're not nice. Some people eat them, or if you have them as pets,
Ooh.
I'm like, yes. Like look in your hand, their tiny legs walk on you, and then it gives you like a little bug massage. No one wants
So
that.
you don't have to go to Algeria because in Algeria they have big ones. Like
That,
like
I,
they fly, by the
that's
way. They fly. Did you see
oh, that
they can fly.
I've seen those in like Florida,
They
like
can
flying
really
like
fly. It's so
bugs.
scary. I mean.
Oh, that it's I'm so back in Philadelphia on the East Coast, we have bugs. We have water bugs, roaches. At night on the street, you see them walking around. Over here in Seattle, they don't really exist. It's amazing. We have spiders, but
Hmm.
roaches, oh, never.
I am not that afraid of spiders. Some people are.
Yeah. No, my wife loves spiders. Like like they hang out in our house in the corner. They make their web. They get the flies. We like have a spider house here. We love them. So please give them our way. Spider-Man's here.
So any other scary story you have to tell?
Um, I don't know if I do, and I'm happy to share the mic with others who may want to speak, because I'll speak for hours. So
Yeah,
if
no,
anybody
it's
else would
okay. I
like
mean,
to speak,
you keep speaking. I mean, if nobody will
sca-
join,
oh,
we will find something
no,
to talk about.
I have this is so not really scary, but I was chased by the cops as a kid for underage drinking. That's a different story, but I was scared for myself to get arrested. I was young, so that was scary for me, but I survived.
Where?
Over in Philadelphia, I was having some drinks with friends in the park, and the cops were circling around the block, and I was scared, so I made a run for it. The cops were chasing me up and down blocks, but I did not get arrested. I was like 14 or 16. Nothing happened, but that was scary. My heart was pounding, so there was a fright there. Um, but the cops were good to me. There was no complaints, so I
Uh,
learned my lessons.
I will tell you about a story where I always was afraid. It was in Russia. So after I had a very bad day after not how to say how to say like not doing the exam well, or how to say breaking the
Failing,
exam,
passing,
like
Fa-
falling
not
in the exam.
failing. Yeah, failing.
Failing, yes. So I was failing that exam, and we had the thing that I was doing in Russia. So how to say, I had to have a deal with the teachers, because usually students who work, they can't, for example, they can't study. I mean, they don't have the time to study. So that's why they
Sure.
just have to deal with teachers, uh, and wait a minute, not now. Just in case. So they have to to deal with the teachers, and to make that exam go, because they have.
Okay.
So I had to work, and
T-
I failed that exam, and I also wanted to deal with that teacher, and I couldn't, because I had to work, and I couldn't I couldn't study anywhere. Anyway, I couldn't
Yeah, you were
go to
busy.
the
Work.
lessons, and the only way to study, I had to why I was studying there, just to prolong my visa. So that was like the
Okay.
reason behind
Ah,
studying. So after failing the exam, I went. Uh, in that time, I was a little bit drinking sometimes. So
that's
yeah, and I went to a place, and I bought a beer, and I sit down in the park, and there in the park it was like a very drunk man, like homeless man, drunk man. He was drinking as well, like wine there. He also proposed to me. I didn't want to drink with him, but he said he seated just right next to me. And after a while, because it's prohibited for people to drink in the public places. After
makes
little,
sense.
like 5 or 10 minutes, he started talking to me, and I didn't mind. I mean, I don't mind to talk with different kind of people, and I start talking to him. We just talked a little bit, and after 5 minutes, a policeman came, and he started like telling me that I will take you, and for some reason he wanted to punish only me, not the guy. Yeah.
That's how it works here too. Don't worry.
Yeah, so I
They were
also had to deal with that policeman, and he says, "Let me go," because I was immigrant. I didn't want to have trouble, and yeah,
ugh,
that was also
I
scary.
that would be scary.
Yeah,
Well, because of all the things you have on the line with school, with being an immigrant, worrying what's going to happen. I mean, that would happen here too. If I was, if if I decided to go outside and drink, I would get in trouble. But the like person outside who's drinking and like breaking windows, they would not, because I have things that I could lose. Money and rent, but they know they want to go after them. I'm not going to get into that, but yes, I, I I tend to keep my drinking now inside in bars where I can be contained. There's no trouble, not on the streets, so
yeah.
I keep
Thank
it
you,
good there.
Natasha, for support. You see, like,
Yeah, thank you, Natasha.
yeah,
Yeah, she's over there. She's
yeah,
she's making donations, and
it's good.
so she's the one being helpful to you. I'm just filling the air, but I thank her for that. It's because we follow so many different channels,
Mm.
and we have to kind of like share the love. It's kind of one of the difficult things I think that many of us face. That I see in this chat here, people that I've seen in all different chats. How do you, share equally? It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, for example, when we were in Russia and we were with my wife watching YouTube channels, and we were watching a lot of like Americans, and we had that feeling, or that wish that we will be like other also YouTubers, we will be like monetized, etc. Because it was very hard to monetize the
Yeah.
channel, and we get monetized only after leaving Russia, and we were looking at people who were monetized, like, I don't know, like they are gods or something. So
That, it does feel like that times. I'm like, how did you get 80,000 subscribers? Like, what are you showing? But
yeah,
sometimes it's luck of the draw. Um, it's difficult, and
yeah.
we have some awesome people here in this chat here. So I don't want to like ignore people because they're all chatting. I feel bad.
No,
But
no,
hello everybody in
it's
the
not a
chat.
problem. So I wanted this
Okay.
way because, I mean, it's hard for me to follow all the chat, but I think I will. I have these. I don't know. They can just ask questions here. I don't see
Okay.
any questions, so people usually like they talk here with each other in
What
this
and
stream.
we've experienced that with our live streams. We don't maybe I think at a max we've had like we've had like 500 in a live stream before, but it's because we were showing fireworks and they weren't people we knew.
Mhm.
But when we have live streams with people we know, it's around 20 people, and it's not hard to follow. But I look at people like Constantine; he has like 2,000 people at one time. I don't know how you would follow all those comments. I would say, okay, I guess like, I'd feel bad because I want to talk to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can always like comment any comment you are reading. The thing about me is because I am like not a native speaker, and when I like collaborate with someone, talk directly, because of me thinking on like my head working, translating at the same time every word to not miss anything, to not
Yeah,
to know
I,
how to keep the stream on, to not to make it interesting, to remember stories at
yeah,
the same time. So if I will look now at the chat, I will be like
sure. I, I,
yeah.
I it is helpful to have that person to kind of like banter with or speak with, because even as we speak right now, we are thinking of things. Oh, that happened with the like police, or I was in the park. So these small things pop up just through conversation. So I think that's fantastic. And so like whether you've been on with like Sergey, I don't know if you've been live with Dima or Ivan, but I think you've been live with like Sergey and others, or,
Yeah,
or Alex and whatnot. So I thank you for also being with them. You're all awesome people.
yeah, thank you, Lando, plenty for support. Great seeing you guys. Hope yeah, great that we are well after the earthquake, I mean.
Yeah,
Oh.
we have a friend who's over in Istanbul. His name is Edgar. Person we've met via YouTube, and he actually went over to like Hatay or that area when the big quakes first happened.
Mhm.
But he's been distraught. He's had family who has passed away in the earthquake. So it's definitely a difficult time, and every day to feel like there's a risk of more earthquakes. It's
Mhm.
tough. It's definitely a hard pill to swallow because you don't know when they're going to strike. Like a hurricane, you have an idea. But an earthquake, it's who knows? It's tough.
Yeah, even now, like we are now, I am wearing this. I am ready to like to leave any moment because my wife, she is
Go.
counting on me. She's counting on me that I will wake her up. I will stay awake. I mean, maybe till 5 a.m. or something like that, and I will stay awake as soon as longer as possible to make her sleep enough, and then I wake her up and I will go to sleep because we met other Russian guys here, and they told us this life hack, you can say. They said that we did the same after the first earthquake. We were like, how to say, what's the word in English when, for example, usually it happens in the war when someone like change with the other, like
I don't know. I'm trying to think of that word there.
yeah, there's a word when like they change, like they the караулить in Russian.
Massachi Karul. Yeah, I'm asking my wife. What does that mean?
Yeah, караулить. It's
Karulich.
like maybe guard one by one, like keep a watch. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, just to kind of be aware, to kind of be on point. Kind of always be ready to go.
yeah.
Like,
For
hey, it's
example,
going to be an earthquake. Let's go.
yeah, this one, and for example, in movies, they show like a group of people when they go out in the wood, for example, or in like any other place, and they sleep all in those tents or something like that. Some one of them
Okay.
stay out and
Gene has it here.
watch.
It's a watch. A watch.
Yeah,
That's it. Sorry.
yeah, a
Yeah.
watcher. Yeah, so today I am a watcher.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds exhausting, but you are a kind person doing that for your family. I feel like
Yeah.
both of us here would be asleep and just hope to hear the dogs barking if anything happens.
Yeah, we have to be the watcher because after that my wife will be the watcher, and we will protect the kid that in case, I mean, anything
Okay.
happen.
No, of course.
Ah,
That's hey,
patrolling. She said patrolling, Natasha.
patrolling. Yeah. That's
Oh,
yeah. And
it's cool that
no,
Natasha is
it's
here. Will help.
yeah. She's here. She helps to translate some things for me too a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I mean, Angie said it best here to have that kind of pack. Um, So we have earthquakes out here on the West Coast, and they want you to have that kind of go bag or that ready pack with your first aid, with your bottle of water, so that if something happens, you can grab it and you can go. So maybe you can look into that, having that kind of like ready to go pack. If you hear like if you feel shaking, boom, you have your meds in there, your ID, whatnot. So I don't know.
Yeah. Do you have hurricanes there a lot? I mean, I was always like
Yeah,
I saw that always in the movies, and I think you kind of you
we
have them often or
yeah,
something.
not on the northwest coast of
Hmm.
the US. Sometimes like by California, they have rare would ever get even like any tropical storms, but it's more on the East Coast toward Florida, toward Texas, like New Orleans. Even like New York City gets storms going up there. They get strong storms. Um, and I've been in some like hurricanes, but I was always more inland, so it would just be rain and wind. I've kind of always wanted to be those people you see online who are standing on the beach and they're getting like blown around like this. I just want to feel the force of that wind. It would be cool to see. My hair being blown around everywhere. It'd be fun to see or experience at least.
Yeah, you made me remember of my wife. Usually, Sasha, she likes to swim in the river or in the sea. It doesn't matter. But when she goes
Okay.
to swim, she swims very far, and I can't just see her. And I mean, go to swim very far, and it's impossible. And a lot of times when I went with her to swim to any place, she went to swim very far, and it was like so scary for me. I mean, to to look
That
for her
that's a
and
scary story.
yeah.
You just hear too many things about like riptides or people just getting they're strong swimmers, but they can't get out of these tides. I like the water. I like it, but I'm scared of any kind of fish. If they touch me, a little fish, it freaks me out. I don't eat fish, and I don't want to touch them. Don't want to look at them. But that scares me. You know, like just being in like that deep water. Um, ugh, that's scary. Scary.
Yeah. Yeah. And is it real that those hurricanes, like, they can like just take people and lift people or lift cars, anything?
Yeah. I mean, that happens more in tornadoes.
Mm.
Those have the ability to be a bit more stronger with winds. Those are the storms in which you hear these things about people getting, thrown around, cars getting lifted up.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I guess it could happen on a hurricane, but you see it more happening with tornadoes. They can be much stronger, and just much more localized inland. Uh, um, I'll say a major threat from hurricanes is the storm surge and the water damage. The wind is strong too, but that's where you have a risk. So if you're inland on a hurricane, you're probably fine, hopefully. But it's that storm surge. When you have tornadoes, you're inland already. They can wreck everything. They're scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Even
right.
though I'm a little bit scared, I don't know, there's a wind or there's a sound outside. I don't know. Like usually, I look to the lamp if it's not moving,
Okay.
so that means there is no earthquake.
That's That's good. I've only experienced one earthquake in my life on the East Coast. It was like a 3 point something, and I felt like I was under the influence of something. Like I was sitting there, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, why is the world moving around me? It was so weird. But it was quick. I wasn't used to it, but it freaked me out. So first time earthquake, I was like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah,
That was scary.
the first time for us was about like 40 seconds of shake. Uh, but this time it was like only 10 seconds. And imagine like the funny thing, or how to say, maybe not the strange thing, that the first time when it was longer and harder, uh, we weren't that afraid. We start laughing from the shock the first time.
Okay.
We started just laughing, and people were getting out, and we kept laughing, and we didn't leave the building because it was the first time. But now, like after learning about all what happened before, it was like very short, not that hard, like 10 seconds, but we were more afraid, much more afraid than the first time. It was like I was like shaking.
I would imagine because I guess you saw what could happen. I think it's like first time, oh, like if you do something that's fun, but then like you say you were to like go like drive 100 miles an hour, that's fun. But then next time you're like, oh, you could crash your car, you can flip over, you can get you can die during this. So maybe that kind of played into it as well.
Yeah, like psychologically we were like already like prepared. Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, it's scary. But see, these are all very scary things, and now I see the chats here speaking about um scarier things about storms. We got everyone speaking about hurricanes now. Uh, so that's a good segue.
I think
That's awesome.
in Russia they don't have them. I know. I never heard about a hurricane in Russia.
Yeah, I don't. I could only imagine that they would probably get a. and I'm a bit of a weather geek. They may get remnants of like a typhoon or an extratropical storm toward like Vladivostok. That area may get that as well. But by that point in time, they get heavy snowstorms, of course. Um, which is I like the snow. Snow's great. Give me snow.
Yeah, snow is cool, but sometimes there are like not snow, but I don't know. Also, these I don't know how to call it. Ask Natasha. Galalod in Russian.
What's ice, right? So it's something with ice, but like hail
With
means
ice,
because like
yes.
leod is ice, right?
Galalod, it's
Yeah.
when all the when especially after the rain, and it is very cold, and it gets
I'm thinking
very
hail.
slippery.
Oh, like ice on the ground, like black ice. What is
He,
it, Tasha? Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's saying same thing like Galalod.
Galalod,
Okay.
in English? What is it in English?
What is Tasha? What is it in English? I think she'll probably type it. Oh, bare ice. I don't know what that means.
Bare ice.
Um,
Yeah.
ice.
So
It's made black ice.
it happened when there is like a little rain, and after that, it'll freeze. The water will freeze,
Yeah,
and
there we go.
and
Yep,
people start falling.
that's it. Black ice.
That happened a lot for
Yeah,
in Russia.
I ice is scary. I mean, we have funny. There are videos on our camera here. I have to upload them actually.
Hmm.
Us just having fun on the ice. Like earlier this year. Ice can be fun, but also terrifying when you're driving, when you're walking. You have to get those like little things for your feet. They're like little metal things. I'm not good with words here, but you put them on your shoes and you stand less chance of falling. But no, you're right. Black ice is terrifying when you're driving and you start shaking the car. Ugh, terrifies me. I can't deal with it. It's stressful.
Even for
I can't.
pedestrian, it's very scary because they can fall anytime.
Yeah, and I you know it doesn't happen here, but I've seen videos or I've heard about it over in like St. Petersburg. The icicles fall down from top. They hit people. They have like that's scary. You're walking on the streets of St. Petersburg and the ice falls on your head or comes near you. That's not good.
You can ask her also what is sasulki.
Sasuke. I'm
Sasulki.
I'm trying to think of my limited knowledge. Sasuke. I'm thinking of like sasisko,
No, no,
but that's
no,
sausage.
not
Um,
sausage.
yeah.
Sasulki, those like those things that are after like the water freeze and those very
Icicles.
cold ice.
That's what it is. Yes, they are icicles. That's what I'm speaking about.
Ah,
Yeah, it's scary because those things hit people and they kill people. Not always, but they
yeah,
do.
they can kill people.
I
Yeah.
don't like that. That scares me.
When in Russia a lot such things happen, they always tell to people stay away from the buildings.
You have to. Yeah, like go more toward like the street. I think it's smart when they kind of they put the rope and they block off the side near the building because it could fall. And I'm sure people probably don't win lawsuits over there. Here, somebody would get sued and something happened, but there it's probably like, oh, it happened on your own risk because
Hmm.
so who knows what's happening there.
The same about the floor when it's like slippery, they put a lot of sand on it usually.
Yeah, that yeah, sand or ice and sand just helps you get your footing. Um, and hey, we are almost through winter here. Like, I think we have a chance of snow this week, but hopefully, um, there's no ice and we're all safe here. I know, like, my like, wife has to go to, well, has to go to work later this week, and there's a chance of snow. So it's always scary when you're driving on ice, even if you're driving only a mile or two, you're at risk of getting in an accident. So never good.
Yeah, yeah, it's scary. And I don't know, maybe in Russia, people they are used to walk on that. I mean, and they don't fall because from the childhood. But I mean, I didn't live all my life in Russia. That's why, like the half of my life, I lived in a hot country, in Algeria.
Yeah.
And when that happened in Russia, I am so afraid. It's so scary for me to walk when there is no sand or something.
Uh, I mean, I can imagine that if you're from an area where you're not used to it and you
Mm.
haven't kind of like built that skill or that knowledge. We have a friend who's from Egypt. He moved here from Egypt, so I don't think that's somewhat near Algeria. It's on the same
Yeah, it's
coast, right?
near. It's in the
Okay.
north of Africa. It's
Okay. Okay.
hot places.
Yes. But so d does it go like Morocco, Algeria, Libya, Egypt, or how's it look like on
Yeah,
the map? I like maps.
yeah. After Libya, it's Egypt, I think. Like,
Okay. Okay.
it's very close to
Well,
Algeria.
neat. Okay. Exciting. Yeah, I actually we have on our table, we have a like covered like world atlas. So we're always looking at a map on our table, like right next to me. There's a big map,
Mm.
has Africa like front and center. Um, but yeah, but that is not scary. That's nothing to do with being scary or being scared.
You said about the guy from Egypt. He was.
Yeah, he moved to this state.
Uh,
We actually celebrated like New Year's with him like 2 years back. Really cool guy like Ahmed. But yeah, he so it's pretty cool that I enjoy that being around people from different cultures. He's from Egypt, his wife's from Ukraine. So we're always around people from different backgrounds and cultures, which makes it pretty exciting. You get to be a part of diversity. It's nice.
Yeah. Do you have kids?
No, we don't have we have dog kids. They dogs don't count, but no, we do not have kids or children. Um, we have dogs. They're both sitting back there sleeping. You
Yeah.
probably see one right here if I can lean back a bit. Oh yeah, there's one. That's a dog, not a pillow. Um, but no kids here, so no cool stories to share about that. Sorry about that.
What about like something scary happened to those I don't know
Dogs?
pets? Sometimes they can. I
I don't.
mean, sometimes they can, for example, walk out or
we- Our dogs, they tend to be very good with the house. Our cat lives inside and outside, but there was a time when I first met Natasha, like I was bummed because the cat didn't come home for like a day and a half or 2 days. It's scary. And we're calling the cat, we're offering the cat food. You're wondering what happened to the cat. We have coyotes out here. They can get attacked by an animal. There's cars. So it's scary. And we walk around the like neighborhood and we're kind of like bummed out. And then we walk and the cat's just chilling there like on a fence or like behind a fence. Wasn't stuck. It was just kind of hiding from us. So it was scary for us
Mm.
to see that. We've been fortunate with their health; they're awesome. But that was kind of like my scary animal tale. I will say that for me, scary. My old dog Piper, as I was a kid, he was like 16, and as he was, kind of his health was failing. There were times it was hard to get him up from his sleep. So he'd be sleeping and dreaming, and you just he was this old dog, and he wouldn't get up. You shake him, like yell, clap your hands, and the dog wouldn't get up. And it was kind of scary, wondering like, is he gonna wake up? And he did, but he would just get stuck in these dreams, and you couldn't get the dog up, and it was just so worrisome. I mean, that's kind of more like a sad scary, not like horror scary, but yeah, it stinks. Um, so I don't have any like other like scary like animal scary stories for you.
Recently with Baghdad, we have um, we we had when we came here to Turkey, so we bought a closet, so like two closets, and one closet. I don't know. It was like standing very well, and it didn't like show any like I don't know. It wasn't broken or something. So he started playing in the closet, and imagine the closet fall with him. Yeah, and
It fell.
yeah, it felt with
Okay.
him, and I was like, it was like I don't know. I didn't sleep well at night. I was sleeping in the day, and my wife was washing her head, and I don't know. I suddenly heard like a noise, and I went there, and I didn't see the him, and I see only the fallen closet,
Oh,
and I thought, what happened? Like, I mean, I start, I don't know, asking Sasha, what happened? What happened? Where is the kid? Where is the kid? And she said he
oh,
was playing there next to the closet, and I left this closet, and he was inside. Like,
oh.
thanks God, he was like inside. It was so scary. He was like,
That's terrifying.
yeah, when it felt, he just went inside. Not he wasn't hurt. He was just
Okay.
inside, like
But inside, luckily.
yeah, it felt
That's
open, like it felt open, and he was inside, and nothing happened to him. It was so scary. It was broken, but thanks God, I mean, nothing happened to him, and I took those clothes with pieces, and I throw it. That
that.
just throw it. I mean, and now
Yeah.
we are
It.
holding our stuff on decks. It was really
It's
so scary
what.
for us.
What I mean, if you're able to do it, I know they sell here, especially because of like liability issues. A lot of shelves or TVs or cabinets come with a tie-down strap or whatnot. It's a little strap you put behind something, so it may not fall off a wall. And with you being an earthquake-prone zone, I don't know what they cost, but it's a little strap. You nail it, so it won't fall on you or people. That's one thing you could look at. But again, I get that you're kind of you're a bit in transit, so you're not kind of settled for good.
Yeah, we are
That's one thing
kind
you
of.
may want to get.
Yeah, and the other thing also, he start like to go to buy by himself. So we have like how to say bakery where they make bakery, yes, where they make
Bakery.
bread.
Oh
Bakery.
yes.
Like in the first floor, we have bakery, and they make bread there, and he like to we always buy for him like a special bread, and he recently start asking about money. He wanted to gather coins and to buy something by himself. And he sometimes
Okay.
get out and go to the bakery by himself. And it's so scary when he go by himself there. I mean, we are like in a strange country, and I mean, it's
Of
so scary.
course. It's yeah, that's I mean, hey, going anywhere to the bank, to the bakery on your own where you don't know the language, you're just feeling like nervous. Who knows what's going to happen, but I like to be a bit of an optimist. Hope for the best,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
and that things will work out.
nothing happened to him. He went there to buy many times, but I mean, I am always scary when I hear or I feel that he went out. I just go after him directly.
Okay, nice.
It's hard
That's good.
to have a kid. I mean, you have to be psychologically ready for it.
And that's one thing where of course with like animals, we're like, hey, we're going out for a day. They hang here. But of course, a child, you have to bring them with you, or in the States, you're paying a lot of money for a babysitter, like a lot. People paying like $100 for like 2 hour, like 2 or 3 hours. That's wild. Um, yeah, yeah, it's scary. These are all very scary things that you wouldn't think are scary. But when you think of it, they're pretty scary. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's good. And so what time is it currently for you? Like 2:14 or 3:14 in the morning?
Now it's yes 3 a.m.
Good for, good. You are a night owl. And I get why you are because you're on watch. I used to be that way when I was younger. Now I'm like 9:30. I get tired. Um,
No, not only because I am watching now. Also, I realized that I was doing streams very early. Like, I mean, when I was
okay.
doing the streams, like my time 10, that means in US it's about let's say 3 or 2 or 4. So people don't watch. I mean, who will watch
That,
at that time? People usually watch in the evening when they are
yeah,
relaxed, etc. And that's why I have to
that's
do very late to catch that
I
time.
understand. I think all of you, people who stream have that problem where like Constantine has that, at least for us, that 12 o'clock West Coast time block.
Mhm.
And it, there used to be like Nikki Prosher was like at 11. Um, but then, others you kind of hear here and there. But yeah, there's this one time to kind of capture that North American audience before you fall asleep because it gets pretty late. But I think you and Ivan are the latest. You guys go until like 3, 4 in the morning. Um, you guys go late.
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, I am myself. I don't how to say I don't bother not sleeping that early. I mean, for me, I am like there are people. I don't know if in English they have such expression or there are owl and others.
Yeah, a night owl.
Yeah.
There are night owls who are up late at night. I mean, I have to be up thinking like because I think she gets up at like 6 a.m. tomorrow. So we'll be up at 6 a.m. and I'm gonna be exhausted tomorrow. Like 'cause I'm used to waking up now like 8 in the morning, and 6 a.m. to me is like so early. I'm gonna be so tired. I'm gonna have like bags under my eyes like this deep. So I'm gonna be exhausted.
Yeah. Angie is asked me many times, do you watch? I don't know. Natasha, she watched Putin's speech. I don't watch him. I mean, I don't like it.
It's
Nothing
yeah, it's
interesting.
I mean I'm gonna watch him, but like I think it's for us. It's gonna come on like 1, 2 in the morning, and I'm gonna watch the highlights of it. But I don't think much will be. I think it's just going to be a lot of the same stuff, and I don't want to get into that. A lot of the same things. Nothing really like
The,
that special being told.
the funny thing that, for example, in when we were in Russia, I mean, we didn't care that much about politics, and I mean, it was like a tradition for Russians to watch how Putin talk in the like before the New Year. It was like a tradition. It was like something
Yeah,
saint to do. And once I even fought with my wife, and I told her, "Why you want to watch him? I mean, all the things that you know already like about him." And I mean, she always like, I mean, she didn't like a lot of things about him, and she never
yeah,
voted for him, and I never voted also. So I told her why you are watching him. She said it's just tradition. But I know I didn't understand why. I mean, like even people who don't love him or who don't like him, and even now, like people are seems to be like ready or waiting to watch him. I mean,
It's
why?
I, I, I think like Constantine mentioned this earlier. Just when like you're somebody who doesn't speak much, you always have to hear from like Peskov, or like you don't speak much. People are just gonna, people want to hear what you have to say. Um, and I do think, maybe if he spoke, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, gave an update, maybe people wouldn't care. But I think the media there does a strong job of, they've said the speech was happening 3 weeks ago. They're like, watch it, it's going to happen. So they have people nervous about that.
So
Yeah.
they are kind of nervous that he will announce another mobilization or something like that.
uh, that is one of the risks, that, or thoughts, he could say that he could announce further actions, but many do feel like, hey, he kind of talks up a lot of things, but may kind of just gear this speech toward his crowd by saying, it's NATO's fault, it's the West's fault, be a strong country, etc. I That's my assumption. It would kind of be a more laid back, not laid back, but a safe speech, that we're still fighting the good fight. It's silly. And then I think like tomorrow he has a concert, so that they're going to
Hmm.
have a big concert over Moscow, and thrilling. I'm sure people are going to be forced to attend. Uh, so
Yeah,
it's a mess.
I mean, like the speech. Maybe if some people are interested, they can just, for example, watch after like the details about what he said or something like the news. But to watch all the speech, it's for me. I think it's not necessary because it will be just full of propaganda and that's it.
I think that that's the same on, even here in the States. Any political stump speech, any speech is long-winded and is kind of geared toward one thing. But yes, I think he takes the cake for just a speech full of propaganda, full of hate, and just lost in his own head. Um, so yeah, hoping all works out well with that. Stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Well,
maybe also it's also something that scary us sometimes, like because we prefer to not hear like we heard already enough like negative news, and we are kind of scared that it will be like so negative, and that's why we don't care about that much. I mean, we don't want to more negativity in our lives.
yeah, I mean, I think, we all have our own lives. We want to, hopefully think they're good, and they're not impacted by the choices of one person. So hopefully it's all positive and it's good. I do have to get back to work.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
It's
Thank
weird.
you
I'm actually
for
working.
jumping. It
I,
was very fun.
yeah, I have people. You're welcome. I have people actually like saying, "Hey, they're asking me questions." I'm like, "Uh-oh." No, thank you for having me. You have an awesome audience. I wish you all the best.
Yeah. Thank you.
And thank you for giving me
Yeah.
time.
You can
So,
jump from time to time.
yeah, thank you. I want to give others a chance to talk.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay, see
thank you
you.
very much, all.
Okay, bye.
So long. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. So, the channel of the guy, I love collaborations. I love when other YouTubers join here. So, let me promote the channel of Michael. It's really great. So, here's the channel of Michael. You can check it out. Subscribe, support. Oh, it was very cool. I mean, when like YouTubers collaborate, we kind of I don't know, find a lot of common things to talk about, and we also like. I mean, mostly are creative people, and when like two creative people meet and start collaborate, they come up with more creative thing. I mean. There are like maybe like stories I wouldn't say like I could maybe I wouldn't say for example about the story of with Baghdad or any kind other story, I could forget about it, or maybe I will not say it, just like if I was alone. But thanks to him, like the story of about the policeman as well. So I told it just because he mentioned the story about policeman. So that's why, I mean, collaboration are awesome. That's why, I mean, I wanted this format of stream, so anyone, for example, can join and can tell his opinion about the topic I will talk about. And also I will also remember things, he will remember things, I mean, or she, I mean, or them. For example, sometimes YouTubers are working together, they do things together. Yeah. So yeah, it was really great, and I'm glad that I found this Skype, because in Skype they have like this option. You don't have even to share your like Skype if you have already an account. You don't have to register. You just can kind of use the link, join, and you're here. It's very nice. So how long? Oh, almost 2 hours. Yeah, that was very lovely, very nice. Yeah, we still, like, Alison shared the link, so if somebody want to join, you can. We can talk a little bit. I am anyway like sitting here watching. Thanks to Natasha, also I learned some new words. It's hard for me to remember new words, but still, the word watcher, for example, the next time I will say the word watcher, and the word. Let me remember. I may have to put here this how to say this Q&A, and besides this, like, word I learned. I mean, it will be also usable for me. I mean, like, ask questions, mention words, or translation, or, I mean, this option I will have, and in this Q&A, you can also put there, for example, moderators or anyone. You can put there in Q&A. You can put, for example, the words I mentioned. It, for example, the words are that were mentioned in the stream, and that I learned, for example, like watcher or any kind of other words. I still don't remember the word like related to the ice that can fall from the roof, and I will just look at them and remember the words that I missed. Or you can also ask questions there. Sometimes it's hard for me to follow all the chat, so you can ask the questions there in Q&A, and you can ask it again. For example, like if you ask it before in the stream and you didn't get the answer, you can ask it again, and I will check there, because it's hard to follow all the discussion to look for a question. Sometimes I try, of course, to take a look. For example, when something very interesting or super chat, or I can just talk about it. Otherwise, we have special place for Q&A. I will try to just remind me to edit in the beginning of the stream. Just edit now. Did you sleep at all? Yeah, I sleep not that much, maybe about 5 hours. It's not good, of course, but in such situation where earthquake is from one side, the renting the apartment from the other side. Orlando Plenty, you have cats there on your page. Cool. What else? the countries we want to choose from the other side. I mean, a lot of things. That's why, I mean, it's hard to go to sleep right away. Especially, I have to care about a lot of things in YouTube. Anyway, I will keep talking till the already like 2 hours. So like this stream, please. Put the like button. Share the stream. Like, let's build the community around it, so it's open for anyone to stream during my streaming. In the beginning, I will always also talk about any topic. If I will not find a lot to talk about, I will talk about a half hour. If I will have enough to say, I will talk about 1 hour, and the second hour anyone will be able to jump and we can just have fun talking related to the topic or anything else. I mean, I think it's better to let the channel open for all topics. Do you have any more cracks in the wall? No, I don't know. Tomorrow I will check. Now I am kind of sleepy. Maybe I will watch a movie or something to not go to sleep, to wake up my wife, because it's already 3:30 here. I can't stream longer, but maybe I will watch a movie to not get asleep, or play chess. I like also play chess online. It's a good thing, also make you think, and it also to, if you are like bored or something, so you, when you play, you forget about everything, and then it will not let me sleep because I will start thinking how to win the chess. Maybe I love chess because I have Russian blood. That's why. Yeah, that's it. So for this stream. Oh, you want to learn chess? Yeah. Learn it. It's a good thing. Okay. Let me check the questions. There are no questions here. Live chat. Yeah, by the way, Natasha, I hope to see you more in the stream. I need the translator in the stream, because it's hard, I mean, to always like to check the translator here. Yeah, it will be cool if you will just tell the translations. And there are some people also learning Russian in my channel, so I do, in my channel I share Russian proverbs or short videos I share, and some people, they subscribe to learn those proverbs, expressions. In the future I am planning to share quotes, etc. So some people may also learn here some Russian words if they will be in the stream, and that will be also kind of something of value we propose together. And I say we because this channel is turning to open community, and anyone can join, put his I don't know, thoughts, and be a part of this channel. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for the support, everyone. Thank you for being around. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and sharing my videos. And see you in my next streams and videos. It was very fun.